did Mist's album cover, so Diamond and Dirt, and I also did a lot of artwork for him. I think I did like 3 pieces for him. So I had to like start making my own money again and go back to being independent. I couldn't rely on anybody, including these galleries. I couldn't rely on them to make the money for me. And this one guy, he replied to me in 10 minutes and he's like, get the first flight to New York. I was like, fucking hell, get the first flight to New York. I had a little look, it cost like $1,000. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to smash this uni loan, just go to New York. Got no plan. I don't know anybody apart from this guy. Like I never really spoke to him before. Didn't even. Do I trust him? I don't know. I've seen his artwork, but I had no idea like what I was getting into. Yeah, I've sold prints and paintings like internationally. Probably furthest one is probably Australia. I've sold like a pair of shoes and stuff to like Dubai, like Miami, South America. I got a lot of fans in South America, like the pictures of jaguars and big cats. So yeah, across the world really.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Insight with the Podcast Club. Can you tell me who you are, where you're from and what you do, please?
How's it going? I'm Tom FITCH. I'm an artist from the West Midlands. I do stuff like street art, animal artwork, portraits, majority with like acrylic paint. So yeah, that's what I do. That's my job, full-time job. So pretty lucky.
Pretty lucky. What made you get into painting?
I've been creative all my life. Like I think my dad taught me how to draw when I was like a kid. I was drawing stuff like, I don't know, Pokemon, dinosaurs, stuff like that. Stuff like any kid would do, do you know what I mean? And then I think when I was like an early teenager, maybe when I was like 12 or something, I saw like a music video. I can't remember which music video it was, but I saw like graffiti in the background. And then I started like looking into that. I used to see it in like skateboard magazines and things like that. And I was thinking like, what's this? There's no graffiti where I lived. I lived in a place called Evesham, which is like Worcestershire. It's like a little town in Worcestershire, south of Birmingham. I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start writing my name everywhere. Obviously, I didn't want to write Tom. Do you know what I mean? So I just made up a little name. My name was Joke, innit? My name was Joke, and then I changed it to Juno. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Just like playing with letters and stuff. Gave all my mates like marker pens. We used to steal like Sharpies and like paint from Halfords and stuff. We used to just like literally just vandalise our town, yeah. Making a mess everywhere. There's like, I've got memories of one time I stole like loads of white paint from my dad's garage, filled up a Lucozade bottle and a roller, and like a roller tray as well. Went down to this shop near a house, and I was like dripping this white paint all the way from my house to the shop, and then I wrote my name like massive on the shop. It was so bait, but yeah. So I basically started from there, doing graffiti, just vandalising and stuff, and then I started to fall in love with like actual proper street art, like graffiti, like as in the colours and actual artwork, the artistic side of graffiti. So started using spray cans, and I was getting pretty good at that. Then what happened? I went to school. I did artwork and stuff. Did it for GCSEs. That's the only like class that I actually enjoyed. I was pretty just. I wasn't like the best kid at school. Do you know what I mean? I used to get distracted all the time. I remember my maths teacher. Yeah, this is like it's quite funny. My maths teacher said that I'd be nothing, and she said, "You can't make a career out of artwork." That's actually her words. She told my mum as well. Like at parents' evening, she's like, "Oh, your kid's like all naughty or whatever. He's not going to make it on nothing." All this shit. And now I'm a full-time artist. But yeah. So after school, went to uni. I did, what was it called? Visual communication at Birmingham Uni. I went to college as well, did art at college, that was good. But yeah, I managed to get myself into uni just because I didn't really know what to do. And those words that teacher actually said to me kind of like stuck in my head a little bit. This is before like Instagram and stuff. I used to think like, oh, I can't make a career out of it. I need to find something else like that'll pay, like, you know, graphic design or some sort of like advertising job, something I can be creative in. So I did that, but I really didn't like it. I hated uni. I don't know, I find it difficult to like concentrate and stuff if I'm not like really interested in it. I just did it because I thought, you know, that's the only career I can get from being creative. Anyway, while I was in at Birmingham, Instagram kind of started, and there was, you know, the grime scene and stuff was starting to kick off. I got like JK, Deps, RP Deps, man, Saf One, like Stay Fresh, all them like were smashing it. Invasion Alert as well, were smashing it, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to try and meet some of these rappers. I'm going to meet some of these, you know, grime artists or whatever. And I want to get involved in that. So I started doing like fan artwork on my actual laptop on like Photoshop and Illustrator of these rappers, and then I kind of fell into doing like their album covers. All naturally, I don't know how it happened really. I think Saf must have been the first one. Saf 1 might have been the first one to ask me. And then I did album covers for like Mayhem. And then ended up doing stuff for like AJ Tracy before he even blew up. This is like 10 years ago. AJ Tracy, EP called Moran EP. And then I did stuff like for like Mist. I did his album cover for Diamond and Dirt. And then from that, because I had all this spare time at uni, I just started drawing and painting again. And I thought, I actually want to meet these people in person rather than just chatting to them online. So I was doing the album covers, and then I was doing the actual artwork as well, like a physical piece like this. And I was giving it to them in person, getting a picture together. Put that on Instagram, and then I just started getting loads of work from that. So that's how it started, pretty much. I might have skipped quite a bit, but that's like the beginning, initial stages of my career. All like music related.
So after graphic design, how did you get involved in gallery work?
So while I was still at uni doing all the graphic design for these rappers, my name started to get more exposure from these rappers and stuff, and then I started painting on canvas. I had all this spare time at uni, so I started to go back to like what I learned at art school. Then started meeting the rappers, giving them the artwork, and then my name started to spread everywhere. Started to get work from that, and then I started getting a couple galleries contact me, asking me if I wanted to have exhibitions. It started with exhibitions first. The first time I went to London was to have an exhibition. Took a couple of my friends there. Never been to London before that, and then started to continue from there. Get exhibitions, sell my work at exhibitions, and then some of them started to ask me if I wanted to be represented by them and go exclusive, which in like music terms, that's kind of like signing to a label. Do you know what I mean? So you're exclusive with that gallery, and they're the only gallery in the country or like worldwide if you're international that can sell your work. So that's how it started, all through social media. I got all my work through social media. So yeah, man, I just started from there really.
So would you say social media was your most powerful tool?
Yeah. And the reason why I signed to a gallery as well is because I thought, in a certain stage of my career, I thought, how am I going to take this further? I was doing everything on my own, and I thought, that's the way to go, which I still believe because I'm independent now. But at the time, I hit like a certain stage where my career kind of flatlined, and I was a little bit lost. I needed some guidance, and I thought, if I need to continue to learn, I need to learn from people in the actual art industry. So I went with a gallery.
So when did you leave the gallery, and how long was you with the gallery for?
So I've been with a couple galleries. The first one I ended. Well, I can't tell you the reason why, but we didn't finish on very good terms with the first gallery. Second gallery, which was Nova Gallery, which started in Leamington Spa, which is in the West Midlands. And they're really good guys. I appreciate them a lot. They taught me a lot. We made a lot of money together as well and made some good artwork, had some good collaborations. But when lockdown came, like these galleries as well, like people don't understand, these galleries take a lot of money, like a big percentage. Majority of them take 50%, which is like quite surprising, isn't it? Like the artist spends a lot of time to do this artwork, and then the gallery sounds easy for them. They obviously have bills and stuff to pay, but they literally just hang it on a wall, and then you have to wait for that to be sold. So, in other words, when lockdown came, all the galleries shut, didn't they? Nothing was open. Nobody could go into a shop and actually buy artwork. So I had to start making my own money again and go back to being independent. I couldn't rely on anybody, including these galleries. I couldn't rely on them to make the money for me. So shout out on Nova Gallery as well. Like, they're good people, but I just had to leave them and make my own money, in other words. So yeah, so everything that I learned from them, I just started to apply to myself and my own business.
Would you say that COVID helped you grow as an artist in terms of having to walk away from a gallery and just go independent? And
Yeah.
More?
Yeah, defo. Because like I said, I couldn't rely on anybody, so it pushed me further, and I got that motivation back as well. And like through COVID as well, through lockdown, I made the most amount of money I've ever made in my career, probably. So that's probably because people were buying stuff online. That nobody could go out, nobody could go on holiday, nobody could go drinking, clubbing or whatever. So they're probably buying loads of stuff for the house. So I think that was the best move for me, and it worked. So I think that was a good part of my career, and I made the right decision.
So I suppose essentially now your own gallery is just like an online market.
Yeah. And if I was to do another exhibition, I would approach the gallery and I would offer them something like, a 50-50 deal. Or if, what else could I do? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. There's other ways you can do it. I haven't been with a gallery in ages, so what is it? So you can do sale or return, so SOR. So if they don't sell it, they can return it back to you. So that's how it'd work. Well, there's other ways. Yeah, you can figure out your deal for yourself and try and negotiate a deal yourself. But if I was to do something, I wouldn't be exclusive. I'd stay independent still.
Cool. Talk to me about Risky Roads, which is a documentary on Amazon Prime, I believe.
Yeah.
You was a part of that. Tell me about how you got approached and how it was filming for that.
Okay, so at the time I was still at uni and I did Mist's album cover, so Diamond and Dirt, and I also did a lot of artwork for him. I think I did like 3 pieces for him. So one, you see when he does like all his like freestyle videos at home and stuff, it's like him with a balaclava on and then the big bull ring chain. So I did that, they noticed me, and I think Risky Roads, which his name's Rooney, shout out Rooney, he had been following my stuff for a while, and they'd done a documentary about Birmingham, so yeah, man, I got involved in that, and they wanted to know my story, because like a lot of my work was Birmingham based. It was basically just a documentary on 0121 and like the grime scene, which was popping at the time. So they just wanted to know like how I'd made my career, like literally how we're filming now, what we're filming now, my story in other words, and like how Birmingham has helped my career, which it did, it started my career. So like things like going to uni in Birmingham, yeah, and meeting all these rappers and then being around the grime scene at that certain point in time would really massively help my career. And then COVID as well massively helped my career. So yeah, man.
I think grime music as a whole pushed a lot of different careers, not just grime rappers.
Yeah.
The whole culture got bigger.
Yeah.
In general. Talk to me about the rappers that you've painted for and the people that you've actually met with your paintings.
I've met loads of people, man. I've met some crazy people. Like, there's been times where I've been to like the club with like Wiz Khalifa and French Montana and stuff in New York and Miami, just like with their entourage and that. So I'll tell you a story actually, right? So another time when I was at uni, like I said, I had all this free time. I was making all this money. Didn't really know what to do with myself apart from like try and invest more into my craft. So even at uni and stuff, I weren't even partying. Like, what's that, Freshers Week? I didn't even go out because I was just grinding. I was just like putting in the work, mad work. So I used my uni loan and the money I made from prints and stuff. And I started to message all these people that inspired me, all these businessmen and artists I was inspired by, in other words. And this one guy, he replied to me in 10 minutes and he's like, get the first flight to New York. I was like, fucking hell, get the first flight to New York. I had a little look, it cost like $1,000. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to smash this uni loan, just go to New York. Got no plan. I don't know anybody apart from this guy. Like, I never really spoke to him before. Didn't even, do I trust him? I don't know. I've seen his artwork, but I had no idea like what I was getting into. And I went there on my own. I went to Harlem and stuff, yeah, some little white kid from West Midlands, mate, in Harlem, just meeting all these rappers and all these geezers and that. I was you know what, I was actually quite naive, but like at the same time, I was so like eager to learn. Yeah, I didn't really care if I got myself into like these dangerous situations and stuff, but yeah, I met him, he taught me loads of shit, and then met like his entourage, met loads of people in New York and that, and then they invited me to go out to Miami. Went to Miami for a thing called Art Basel, which is like the biggest art festival in the world. I went to a couple of exhibitions there. I was like painting live models, like naked models, and using using them as my paintbrush on canvas and stuff. Doing like live painting sessions. Got a model, like got a load of people to paint the model and stuff. Like made a bit of money from that. Just some mad shit, bro. Just crazy. So yeah, what was the initial question? I kind of like went off topic then, but
I asked you who you'd painted for.
Oh right, yeah. Who I painted for? Yeah, so in those sort of situations, you just bump into random people. Like when I went to Miami as well, fucking met ASAP Ferg and went to his catwalk like for his Adidas shoes and stuff. So while I was there, I did a painting for him of a guy called ASAP Yams, who used to be like the manager or like creative director or whatever. He kind of like started ASAP, so you know ASAP Rocky and that. Did a painting for him, and then when I came back to England, since then I painted people obviously like Mist, Fredo, Digga D. Recently, I met him on my birthday last week, which is sick. Went on stage and that as well in Bristol, so that was mad. That's a good memory. Oh yeah, I done a picture for AJ Tracy as well, like 10 years ago, yeah, before anybody even knew it, man. I did his EP cover called Moran EP, so if you want to check that out, have a little look. And I painted that cover. It's of a football shirt. So who else have I met? Mate, just name a couple and I'll just tell you if I met them.
Talk me through...
Obviously Skepta as well. Skepta's one of the first ones, and JME, so yeah, man, them two, defo.
Talk me through meeting Digga D, what that day was like, taking the painting to him and the feeling that came with it.
Shit, man. To be fair, yeah, like I said, I was actually kind of shook, like walking into that room, just me and my mate, and there was like 20 geezers all balladed up. But to be fair, they're so friendly. Like, all these people are friendly. I don't know what they're like behind the scenes and that, but like when I'm gifting people this artwork, it always gets a good reaction. So I got nothing bad to say about anybody. Like, everybody that I've given artwork to has just been positive.
Where did you go and meet Digga?
Bristol. Yeah, on his tour. So his recent album that's come out, Naughty by Nature. Yeah, it was fucking sick, man. Just going mad on stage and that. It's crazy. Going backstage and that. It's crazy, man.
Okay. Talk to me about meeting Fredo.
From Digga to Fredo, yeah. How did I meet Fredo? So basically what I do is, with some of these rappers I'm just fans of, and I just want to like gift them a piece of artwork and like just to meet them, really, just because I'm a fan. So I think with Fredo, I just gave him that piece for free, but what I do is I put it on Instagram, I get everybody to tag them and get him to notice me, and then hopefully sort out a meeting. But I met him at Bristol as well, so yeah, man.
Krypton Conan.
Oh, yeah, done Krypton Conan as well. That was actually for their BBC show. What's it called? That rap show.
Rap Game.
Yeah, Rap Game, that's it. Yeah, done that for them. They commissioned like a couple artists to do the billboards and stuff, so I've done that one for them. Yeah, man. And then I had the actual original painting, the canvas, and then they done a show in Birmingham. Then I met Krypton Conan at the show.
Cool.
So yeah, man, I forgot about that one. Do you know what I mean? So
that one was a while ago, I think.
Yeah.
Which rapper have you met and their character took you by surprise?
They've all been sound. Probably Fredo, do you know what I mean? Like some big gangster rapper, but he's proper friendly, and all his crew were friendly. So, who else? I met JME, and I was talking to JME in like a McDonald's car park for like 3 hours. He's literally telling me every like part of his story and where he started. So yeah, he's probably the most genuine geezer I've ever met in terms of like in that industry.
Give me a gem that JME dropped.
Oh, I don't know. He just told me to continue. He just told me not to ever give up. And he's always supported me as well, like on Twitter and stuff. He'll post me up just randomly. So yeah, man, I'm pretty lucky, to be fair, to meet all these people.
Well, you're very talented also.
Cheers, bro.
What's the long-term plans for Tom Fitch?
Long-term plans? I've just got into tattooing as well, so you better watch out for that, man, because I'll be tattooing everybody. You see these rappers and these celebrities and that, they're going to start getting tattooed up by Tom Fitch, so yeah, man. And just loads of other stuff. I want to get into loads of businesses and stuff as well, so like I'm going to be doing art forever because that's like my skill and that's what I'm known for. But I also want to get into property and stuff. So like art's just like the initial starting point for everything else and all these other businesses that I want to get into. Like want to own my own alcohol business one day, maybe design a bottle like Charlie Sloth did. But I don't know, you've seen like Skull Vodka and like these Ciroc bottles and stuff. I reckon I could design something a lot better than these, man. So yeah, hopefully one day, bro.
Sending shots already. Have you sold paintings internationally? And if you have, what countries have you sold to?
Yeah, I've sold prints and paintings like internationally. Probably furthest one is probably Australia. I've sold like a pair of shoes and stuff to like Dubai, like Miami, South America. I got a lot of fans in South America, like the pictures of jaguars and big cats. So yeah, across the world really.
That's cool. So talk to me about how you go from a graffiti artist to a selling artist. How does an artist sell?
Okay, so like I said, I made my name on social media. My friend commissioned me, to paint his dog for 40 quid. And then, like I said, through social media, my name started to get more and more recognised. It's just through social media, but like the hardest thing is to find out your worth and how much you're actually selling artwork for. So what I'd recommend, like beginning artists, or like you need to talk to other artists you're in your same sort of like field, niche or caliber, who you think you're, in terms of skill, close to, and figure out how much they're selling. So in other words, look at your competition and then try and match up how much they're selling their stuff for. You can find it online, do you know what I mean? If you look on, their website, or just like I said, talk to them. So yeah, it's just like about networking really, and then seeing what your competitors are selling for. So yeah.
Do you mind me asking what the highest figure you've sold a single painting for is?
With galleries, I've sold stuff like for thousands of pounds. I'm so lucky, to be fair, because independently, I haven't got that same sort of clientele. But with galleries and stuff, I've sold one for like, I don't know, 12 grand. That's probably the most. But yeah, man, like myself, I don't have that sort of like clientele. That's the good thing about working with galleries. They take a lot of percentage, but they reach people that you might not be able to yourself.
So a moment ago, you was talking about advice for younger artists or people wanting to become an artist.
Yeah.
Go a bit more in depth on how people can become an artist and the steps they should take.
Okay. First step, I'd say, is to buy or find somebody with a camera. So once you've done your artwork, take a photograph of your painting, and then find somebody that can make prints and then sell prints of that artwork. So with art, you need to find, well, with any business, you need to like sell things at mass or sell a product. In other words, I mean, the artwork itself is a product, but if you want to make like a living from it, you need to be able to, rather than trade your time for money, which is the original painting, the original piece of art, you need to make something that you don't actually physically have to make with your hands. So for example, right, prints is one thing, you can sell prints. You can sell prints on canvas as well, and you can also hand embellish, which means paint on top of the print and sell that for more money. For example, if you sell a print for like 50, 60 quid or 100 quid, then you can sell the hand embellished print for like 150 quid and then reduce the amount of prints that you're hand embellishing. So say the initial run of prints was like 50, and then you can do like 5 hand embellished and sell them for more, so they're more collectible. Also, when you have that image of the artwork, you can put that on other stuff like merchandise. So for example, you can go on a website called Vistaprint, and you can put images on like mugs, t-shirts, anything like that. So you just need to find ways of like mass producing that image, but trying to keep your value of the artwork. Yeah, man.
What's your favourite painting you've done to date?
Favourite painting? I'll say like the most recent one is obviously like the Digga D painting, because it's most recent and it was such a good memory. It was my birthday, went on stage and stuff, and I've got that framed, and I've got a CD as well signed by him and a print signed by him. So in art, you don't really get many awards and stuff, so I'm going to make my own plaque. I'm going to get that framed. So that's my own little FITCH Digga D plaque. But I've got other favourite paintings, for example, like this one. I do a lot of animal artwork as well, so I like lions and tigers and stuff. Like before my grandma passed away, that was her favourite animal, so I continue to do those, kind of like a little tribute. So not many people know that, but I mean, when I paint animals and stuff, they don't actually have to mean anything, but when a person buys it, that can possibly be their favourite animal and it can mean something to them. So the animals, the tigers, the lions, and then I did one of the coral reef, which I haven't done anything like that before, so coral reef one's pretty sick.
Cool. Just backtracking a little bit, what moment did you realise that you was going to go full-time as an artist, and what did that look like? Okay,
so similar to school, I didn't like school. When when I had a job, like I used to work in retail in a shop. I reckon it's because I don't really like people telling me what to do, especially when I'm not interested in it. If I'm interested in something, then I search for that information. I search to learn from that person. But I worked in a shop, in a retail store, and I hated it. I just hated it so much. But luckily, yeah, this store, I'm not going to say the name, but it shut down, went bankrupt. But at the same time, obviously, I was doing artwork. So I got made redundant. I got redundancy money, and that helped me like keep my art career going for a bit. Like a little bit of backup money, just in case it failed. But because of the stuff I was doing, for example, selling merchandise, selling prints and that, I just continued to do that, and then it worked. Well, it was fucking lucky, man. Lucky it worked.
Lucky or fate?
Well, it's a bit of both, isn't it? You know, people say law of attraction, but you got to work towards it.
Is law of attraction something you abide by?
Yeah, definitely. But you got to work towards it. You know, like I said about meeting Digga D last week for my birthday, I knew I was going to meet him because the painting that I've done, I'm not going to be big-headed, but it's a good painting. I'm proud of it. I spent a lot of time doing that, and I don't see anybody else doing that sort of style or like to the same sort of skill or caliber as me. That's just like my competitive nature. But, you know, I was thinking to myself, like, he's going to want this, do you know what I mean? But I got everybody to tag him so him and his management could see it. But at the same time, I already had it lined up to meet him. I already knew I was going to meet him, so I just worked towards it and got everybody else to help towards that.
Okay. Leave us with a quote that motivates you and something that you live by every day.
All right, okay. In terms of quotes, I follow loads of quotes. You know, you see loads online, on Google or whatever. But there's one here I've got on my phone, so it's literally my background on my phone, and it says, "If you're not where you want to be in life, then why are you chilling so much?" So that's just a little reminder to myself. Like, I don't watch TV, I don't watch Netflix. I go out partying now and again, but you know, you gotta make use of every little second that you're on this planet. So, and at the moment, I'm not a millionaire, so why am I chilling? You know, I need that Rolls Royce, I need that mansion, do you know what I mean? That's what I'm working towards, and that's success to me. Obviously, there's other things that I want to get and inspire to be like, but money is definitely what inspires me for sure. Because with money, yeah, everybody wants all the flashy things, but to me, it means freedom. So like, the more money I make, the more I can create, and the more I can live a nice lifestyle. So yeah, man, that's why I abide by all these quotes and stuff.
Most people say money isn't happiness.
Yeah.
Do you think it is?
Of course, man. I think it is, definitely, because think about it. People say, oh, you know what, money can't, you know, improve your health. Of course it can. You can get better healthcare. You know, you can get a better living. You can move to a nice place. You can eat better food. Do you know what I mean? So, and it can pay for your bills. It can pay for everything, I guess. But the only thing it can't pay for is time, like I said. So yeah, I definitely believe money can solve a lot of problems. It may not be like the true measure of happiness, but it can help you for sure.
I always say if you're pretty happy anyway, money won't hurt.
Exactly, yeah. What's that saying? I'd rather cry in a Lamborghini or a Ferrari than, I don't know, like a Vauxhall Corsa or something. And that's true, man. That's what I want, bro.
Thank you for your time today.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
You've been watching Insight with the Podcast Club. That was Tom Fitch. We'll leave all his links in the bio. Get in touch, tap in, and thank you for watching.
Cheers, guys.